Well, for the third consecutive season, we have in the realms of £50 million to spend on new players and plenty of new wage budget to spend on those. It's going to be an interesting transfer window, I think, because we've already got a very strong squad. We had an excellent season last year. But of course, we're preparing for European football for the first time, so we need a little bit more quality in the depth department. So it's going to be tricky to recruit those sort of players, I think, that'll want to join and play only a bit part role this year, I suppose. But let's see how we get on. It's going to be an interesting one. Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more Football Manager 2024 and another part of non-league to Champions League with South Shields. And today we are back with our Season 11 transfer special as we prepare for European football for the very first time with the Europa Conference League. Although we do think that will be upgraded at some point in today's episode to the Europa League. It just all depends on European coefficients, who wins the tournaments and things. So we'll wait till that's confirmed. But we have to reflect on our best ever season as a football club. You know, we over the last 3 years, it's consistently been our best ever seasons, and topped off with a domestic cup victory. Absolutely incredible. And it all started with the transfer window in the summer. Mesuri ended up being voted signing of the season. Not surprising, 13 assists, 1 goal, sorted our problem at left back. He is going to be there for many years to come. He's only 23 years old, 7.34 average rating this year. Hans Brockstedt came in as a bit of a backup player, only played 4 games, but played very well. Danny Patterson, one of the best signings, 25-year-old English midfielder, £47 million he came in for, 16 goals, 16 assists and a 7.28 average rating. James Trafford came in as a backup goalkeeper. He's certainly a great backup to have, a safe pair of hands. Ekeri Mora came in, £8.25 million, 27 goals and 1 assist in 39 starts this year. Hisham Badoui, world-class midfielder, came in from Nice and looked very good. Michael Asante, he is somebody that is going to be coming in on a permanent deal in the summer. 11 goals and 4 assists for him. Andres Gonzalez, 4.1 million, 4 goals and 4 assists. Alan Murphy, the big one, £55 million we brought him in for, and he was a very, very solid goalkeeper for us. Beto came in on a permanent deal, scored some important goals throughout the season. Adrian Mazilu, very decent player there. Gabriel Nigu improved a lot in defence, 2 goals and 3 assists and a very solid average rate. And Prashido came in on loan from Arsenal for a little bit of depth, and Julio Pabon came in on a free transfer in January from Liverpool, scored a goal and got an assist, and I think will be a very promising player. In terms of our loans out this season, Novotny went and scored 26 championship goals for West Brom. He was the top scorer there, 2 assists in there as well. 21 goals for Ethan Wheatley. Very, very good to see them playing well. Ahmed Hassan went out on loan, was quite disappointing in Dusseldorf, but did want to leave, and that was fair enough. David Washington ended up playing a decent amount of games for Wolves in the second half of the year. 2 goals and 2 assists in his 4 starts for them. But, lots of players will be on the way out. One player I'm very excited about is Donovan Robinson. I think he will be upgraded to first team status this year. Played 26 championship games last season. Looks decent or a very decent player, can play on the right, can play on the left, can play at left back actually. So definitely gives us those depth options. So he will be somebody I'm looking to maybe utilise in the first team next year, and get him developed into somebody good. He's 19 years old and could be a very, very strong player. In the Premier League, we had a very good start of the season, a little bit of a wobble, you would say, in certain parts, and had rough patches of form, 13 defeats in all, but 20 victories this year, 65 points, by far our best return so far, finishing 7th in the league, and not too far behind Champions League qualification in the end. We got to the final of the FA Cup, very unlucky in the end to lose to Liverpool in extra time, but we did win the Carabao Cup and we did beat Liverpool in that one, and that was a fantastic performance for us, and winning our first trophy and guaranteeing European football for the very first time. Moments to remember: our biggest win was 8-0 over West Ham. Incredible results near the start of the season. Match to remember: an 8-1 victory over Sunderland, and goal of the season was Mora after 10 minutes. Let's have a little look if we can have a gander at our goal of the season. Was this one here, apparently. Let's see what it was like. I don't remember it, but this is what was voted as our goal of the season. I think there was probably better, but let's see. Badoui on the ball, got it to Marikal, to Morel to Moran. It's a fabulous finish, don't get me wrong. I do think there was some better goals than that last season. In terms of sponsorship, we stayed at the same level. Broadcast revenue was slightly down, surprisingly, but our corporate and hospitality was up. Competition prize money was hugely up as well, and our matchday commercial and retail was up. Gonzaga was the biggest shirt seller. Badoui, Bontonali, Pabon and Gressman were also up there, and this was our best 11 of the year. Alan Murphy starting and goal with Chamadeo, Husa, Nigu and Masudi in defence. Lewis Skelly and Badoui as our defensive midfielders, with Gressman, Patterson and Bontonali starting behind Mora up top. Player of the season was Junior Chamadeo. Young player was Masudi. Signing of the season, Masudi as well. Goal of the season, Tamora. Top goal scorer, Tamora as well. Patterson, the most assists. Most player of the match awards to Patterson. Highest average rating was Masudi, and Marikal had the most passes per 90 minutes. Most goals by a player in a match was Bontonali. Most goals by a player in a league match was Gonzaga. Most league goals by any player is Ethan Wheatley on 143, and Alan Murphy broke our transfer record. We did get English players, young player of the season. Hamid Gressman won that. History in the making then. South Shields looked sharp when they had to be in the middle of the season. Few will have expected this outcome, but they gave themselves a chance and reaped the rewards. Absolutely brilliant. And, looking ahead to next season, the expectations are to finish mid-table in the Premier League now, so we're very much becoming an established Premier League side. They want us to reach the latter stages of the Europa Conference League as well, and of course, looking at our finances, we've got £48 million to spend, 2.23 million on the wage budget, and we're only committed to spending 1.8 million at the moment, so we've got plenty of money to spend to try and take this team forward. And, let's just have a little look at this squad and how it looks at the moment. We've got 3 solid goalkeepers. I don't really foresee any need to get rid of any of them or bring in anyone in that position. Centre-back is somewhere that continues to be a little bit of a challenge. We've got Nigu, we've got Husa. I'm very, very happy with that partnership at the back, but we need a backup option. Marikal not getting any younger, and he's not getting any better either, so we need to bring somebody in that is going to give us a bit of cover at centre-back. We've, of course, got Brodie Hughes. He's been brilliant this season, and he's getting better and better. He's 28 years old now, though, so again, we're going to have to start looking towards the future with that one. In terms of left-back, You know, we've got Alexander, we've got Masudi in there as well. Chamadou can play there if needed, but I'm very happy with him at right back. No need to really replace that one. Defensive midfield, Lewis Skelly has made himself at home in that position. We've been sort of rotating between Badoui and Morel this year. Morel's obviously improving, is a young player, but Badoui is 33 now. I think we will need his experience next season as we go into European football, but we probably need one more signing. I don't think Cromie's good enough to really be in that conversation. Alexander can play there, so if instead we want to buy a backup left back, we could do that, and Alexander would do a great job in defensive midfield. It works quite nicely there. Going forward, we've got the likes of Patterson, Gonzaga, Gressman, Mazilu I'm happy with. Pabon's in there now. Bontonali, Gonzalez, you know, very, very good players. We've got Asante and Mora as our out-and-out strikers. Probably need one or two more top quality strikers as a bit of backup going forward. But I'm very, very happy. Very, very happy with how it's going. We can remove these now, can't we? We don't need those in there. It was mainly just to work out which players I needed to change the contracts of, essentially, when we got promoted. But yeah, in terms of who's going, Beto will be leaving us at the end of the season. Obviously, Prochetto will be going back to Arsenal. Don't think he'll be coming back / even be allowed back next year. And then we've got a few players with just a year left on their contract. Hisham Badoui, Marikal, Brody Hughes and Cromie, and I think we should wait and see as to whether we want to continue with our partnership there. I think Danny Patterson is probably the only real player that I'm in a bit of a rush of trying to get him a better contract going forward, try and extend his stay up towards the likes of 2037, where we've got Masudi and Mora and even the likes of Donovan Robinson in there. But no, I think he'll be a good addition to the squad. You know, can play at left back. Perhaps that's what we do, have him as our backup left back, try and develop him into that role, because he's going to find it very difficult to overtake Bontonali. Maybe his defensive work is what we have to work on in training. You know, he's got good decisions, decent agility, good pace, good crossing. I think he would fit into that role very, very well indeed. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Other than that, you know, I think Cromie will probably be leaving in the summer, but we do need to keep an eye on having players that can come into the first team. You know, we have got a little bit of potential in the under-21 team, not massive amounts of potential. Same with the under-18 team, but you know, it's all going to be about who we can sign and definitely looking at players for the future, because that's really our budget at the moment. We're signing them cheap and developing them, and that seems to be working very, very well. So I'll get on with this then, and I'll see you guys when we get to our first signings of the summer. There you go then, there's the confirmation. South Shield qualify for the Europa League, which is brilliant. Top 7 finish there. Man United got the Europa Conference League. You would imagine they will walk that next season. But yeah, if you have a look at who are going to be in it next year, well, we can't see it on this screen yet, but Brighton have won the Europa League, so they'll be in the Champions League next season. So it's one of those where there's going to be 6 teams in the Champions League next season, 2 in the Europa League, and then Man United in the Europa Conference League. So yeah, big moment for Brighton, doing exactly what Brentford did last season. And Brentford, well, I mean, they didn't even get into the playoffs last year. So yeah, it's all very crazy. Hopefully it works out for Brighton, because I think they need some brand new players, because they've still got some of their old guard from season 1 in there. Okay, first signing of the window, and it is a big one. Nicholas Oliver is coming in from Wolverhampton. He's that defensive midfielder that we're looking for. If you look at him on a Mazzala, a register rating. You know, he's got some excellent attributes for that. Very composed, good decisions. He's got excellent determination, which I think is going to really help the team. Good passing, good technique, good vision. He's right-footed as well, so he'll slot onto the right side of that defensive midfield. He's been playing for Wolves all of his career. Had a good season in the Championship last year, a couple of years ago, and decent in the Premier League last year for a Wolves team that did not perform wonderful. You know, they just stayed above water and would probably have went down in other seasons. But yeah, very, very happy with that. So it's a fee that could reach £46 million. You know, about 10 million up front, I think it is. Lots in installments, lots in, you know, different deals of how many league appearances he's in. They're going to get 10% of the profit as well. But he's English, which I think is awesome. To have another English player in the team, that's going to be very important. So a very exciting first signing of the summer. Well, we've had this one before, haven't we? Man City offering us a job interview. We absolutely will not be going for that, but that is that's interesting. That's the second time they've offered us a job. No other team have done that. I just find it really, really interesting, to be honest with you. But yeah, we've got a few transfers in the works at the moment. Bruno Guimaraes is going to be joining us on a free transfer. He's still got some really good attributes, and although his star rating might not be great, his experience is going to be crucial for us next season. He's just going to be in and around the squad, playing in cup competitions and that sort of thing. I think that is a good signing. We're applying for a work permit for Betinho, who is a 19-year-old Brazilian wonder kid. Not really looking to strengthen in this position, but weakens rivals, because Man United, Man City, they're all in the running for this guy. But we've just applied for a work permit. Again, just somebody that can slot in behind the striker. It might be that we move on some other players depending on how it goes. Donovan Robinson has had a couple of loan offers, good loan offers from Bristol City and QPR, so we have reluctantly accepted those because he needs first team football at this stage in his career. Otherwise he's just not going to make it, but he is fairly determined, so fingers crossed he will come good. We have had Oliver arrive, Nicholas Oliver. He has arrived from Wolves, looks just as good as was promised, and I've already got him training in his register role to hopefully improve there. But that's a great signing for me. Really, really happy about that one, and fingers crossed we can keep going. Okay, next signing of the window, and this is definitely a signing that we wanted to get done. A centre-back with a lot of experience. He's, of course, Irish as well, so, you know, virtually homegrown in terms of where he started his football career. He's known as an elite centre-back. Nathan Collins has come in from Brentford, £10.25 million. Very good signing, I think. Will give us that much needed experience in defence, and will be a really fabulous player, I think. We've also managed to offload Ahmed Hassan. He's gone to Aston Villa for £63 million. He's already worth up to £175 million. I mean, it could be one that comes back to bite us, but I really don't see that being the case. I'm quite happy to let him go. David Washington's gone to Blackburn for £16.75 million as well. That's a huge bit of business for us to get rid of him. So massive profit on those two players alone. Ethan Wheatley has permanently left the club. He's gone to Rotherham. Definitely found his level down in League One, I think, and hopefully he will enjoy a good career from here on in. But yeah, Asante has joined on a permanent deal. We knew that one was going to happen. That was a deal that was sewn up last season, and Bruno Guimaraes has arrived at the club. He is only 2-star ability, but I kind of don't believe that. You know, you look at these attributes and you think, wow, there's no way that this guy is only a decent Championship player. But hey, if he is, he is. You know, he's only in for a year, and I think he will be an invaluable player to have at the club, just in terms of his experience, and is somebody that continues that long tradition of Northeast Football Club players playing at South Shields. So I'm quite happy with it anyway. Jamal Gonzaga might be leaving. We've accepted a £55 million offer from Napoli. It's a huge amount of money, especially because, you know, we got him for free many, many years ago. He's had 2 excellent seasons in the Premier League. He is a very good Premier League player. He'd be a massive loss, but £55 million is a lot of money, and especially when we've already signed what we think could be a ready-made replacement in Betinho, 19-year-old Brazilian wonder kid, who in many ways looks better than Jamal Gonzaga, and I think will eventually be better than him if we develop him well. So he's somebody that can go and do that. We've obviously got Danny Patterson at the club as well, who played a lot of last season in that attacking midfield role. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jamal Gonzaga leaves, and that 55 million is going to be a lot to spend to go along with the Ahmed Hassan deal as well. The team's starting to look very, very good. I've started sort of filling in the gaps where I think players can come in. I was going to have a look at Danilo, but he's wanting £120,000 a week. It's just a lot of money for somebody that hasn't played in England for a few years now. Cole Palmer's another one I'm thinking about, just as a bit of a depth signing. He is English, of course, can play up top as well, and is a good penalty taker, which is something that we probably need at the club. Was at Chelsea at the start of the series, didn't play at all for them really, then didn't really play for Aston Villa, has gone to Freiburg and hasn't really played for them. I mean, he's only played 95 career games. He's just not developed the way that you would think he should have. But he's a decent player, you know, a good championship level. But I think we probably want more for our money than him. But we'll keep an eye on what's available, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so this is a big one. Jamal Gonzaga, who has been such a great player for us over the years, he has gone to join Napoli for £55 million. It's a shame, but he is 28. He is somebody that is only going to lose value really over the next couple of years. So it seemed a good time, if any, to lose him, and it means we've now got 100 million, to go and reinvest in the squad. We're already having a look at multiple players. One of those is Ashley Theo, who is a 24-year-old Swiss central defender. Looks very, very good, actually, and it looks like we're going to get him for possibly £7 million. He has had an offer in from Paris Saint-Germain. He might well prefer to join them. I don't know. Maybe we go in there and we offer him a little bit more money. You know, maybe just give him a little bit of extra stuff there to try and entice him. We'll see. The other one that I'm looking at is John Cretaro, who is a 25-year-old Irish striker currently playing in Saudi Arabia, but £32 million looks very good. I mean, some excellent attributes there. Has scored a ton of goals. My only concern is that he was playing for Coventry not so long ago and actually didn't score too many goals in the Championship, but he's scored a ton of goals out in Saudi Arabia. He's rated as a good Premier League striker, and I think somebody that would give us that little bit of depth that I think we need up top, and again, homegrown. So, you know, that it's a real tough one. It really is a tough one with him, but we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. Well, brand new contract signed at South Shields then. £58,000 we are now on, which is a nice pay rise, and a 5-year contract to keep us here till the end of 2038. Very, very good. Very happy about that. Hopefully that will give us a little bit of extra job security as well, because that increases our compensation package quite significantly. Okay, another huge transfer coming through the door. This is a bit of a risky one, I'm going to be honest. Ethan Nwaneri, comes from Brentford. Obviously started out at Arsenal in this series, but has been a consistently good performer in the Premier League for Brentford. Obviously spent last year in the Championship, but is a very, very good depth signing for us. Can play up top, can play on the wings, can play in the middle. Definitely somebody I wanted to get in. 26 years old. He's coming in for an initial fee of 35 million. Lots of different performance-related clauses in there. We'll see what happens. Tried to sign Danilo. He's gone to Everton, which is a shame. But Nwaneri, very, very happy about that one. He has come in. And the squad is coming together very nicely. I think we've got that backup striker now. We've got some backup attacking midfielders, and there's possibly more on the way. We've got an offer in for this guy, Navanaku. He's possibly coming in from Real Madrid. He joined them for £25 million from Feyenoord a few years ago. Looks very, very good. 3.5-star ability already. Got some decent attributes in there. Good pace. Would be a very good centre-back if we were to get him in. He's going to come in on an initial loan, but Inter Milan have put in an 11th hour bid to see if they can steal him from under us, but we shall see. Well, there you go. He's joined Newcastle, so shows what I know. But that's a pity. Never mind. We will keep trying to push on. We've got 80 million to spend and £530,000 a week. It might well be that it just comes down to the final couple of days of the transfer window and the right player popping up at the right time of what we need. And or maybe it's a case of saving that money and trying to make us a little bit more financially stable. We've got a lot of good money in there, and hopefully if we can have that money ready to go, then we'll be in a much better position. Okay, I think this is the team for the first day of the season then. Alan Murphy continuing in goal. Chamadeu, Husa, Collins and Masudi is our back four. I think Collins is a good addition in there. Nigu given a little bit more time to develop his centre-back prowess, but he was a very good player last season for us. Nicholas Oliver and Miles Lewis-Skelly is our new defensive midfield partnership. Danny Patterson on the right, Bontonali on the left, and Nwaneri in the middle, and Mora up top. Now, normally we would probably have Gressman on the right-hand side and Patterson through the middle, but Gressman has got an injury at present. We've got a very strong bench. New signings, Batinho on there, and Michael Asante, of course, being a permanent signing. But what it's probably shown me is that we can go out there and sign more wingers. I've sort of been holding off on that, but I think we do need a couple more wingers in there just to replace Bontonali or Gressman if needed, particularly on that left-hand side. I mean, Nwaneri can play there. But we shall see what happens. But I think that's a very good squad. Obviously, it was a very strong squad already, so to improve in certain areas is massive for us. And let's have a little look at what the Premier League reckon we can do. They think 13th, I think, 14th. I think they said 13th last season, but Fulham are back in the Premier League now, and they are a team with tycoon money, so it sort of makes sense that they're expected to finish so high up. Don't know if Lewis Miley still plays for these. Yes, he does. Okay, that's because that could be an interesting one. But again, he's a right-sided player. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a very exciting season. Of course, Arsenal under Pep Guardiola, they're probably my favourites for the season. Very interested to see who they say our two top players are, Husa and Patterson. Okay, but I think we've had a very, very good transfer window. I think we're in a great position compared to where we've been in the past. And obviously, with European football on the horizon, we've still got tons of money to spend. So we need to go out there and sign a few more players just to bolster the squad a little bit, you know, maybe spend 15, 20 million on 3 or 4 more players and bring the squad up to scratch. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section what you think. I know last year you were very, very positive about the transfer window. We've had another good transfer window, I think. Certainly the signings of Navanari, I think, will be a good one. Collins coming in, and of course the big ones of Coutinho and Nicholas Oliver. I think those are massive signings for us. I think Coutinho in particular will be a little bit of a hero. He's just got one of those names that you sort of feel in Football Manager when they've got a good name, they're going to be good. So if you have enjoyed it, give it a massive thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more Football Manager videos. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching and goodbye.